Hello, viewers, and welcome to Spotlight here on Hope TV, where you'll look and live. And on Spotlight, we do our best to bring you commentaries that inform your conversation. Also, commentaries that, very importantly, inform your Christian action through a biblical perspective of the things that are affecting our society. And on Spotlight today, we'll look at two aspects that are very prominent in our community. That is fame and fashionability. Fame and fashionability. Now, Matthew chapter 6, verse 1 says, "Be careful not to practice your righteousness in front of others to be seen by them. If you do, you will have no reward from your Father in heaven." When you keep off fame from motivating your ambition, both your eyes are fixed on the value of the task and you are able to work with a truer heart. Let's imagine it's 3 a.m. in the morning. A fantastic idea visits your mind. You know for sure this idea will revolutionize the city. It will be the remedy for the city's traffic malady forever. No one knows it, only you. You need no one else to help you implement. You alone are enough. You need not wait for anything to implement it. You can effect it right away. It will not take long to operationalize. It gets to work instantaneously. I do not know what that idea is, for the obvious reason that I do not have it. But imagine its effect. From Westlands roundabout to Nyao Stadium will predictably take 14 minutes on a tough day, meaning that on a regular day, it would take way less than half that time. Thika Road will be a bliss. You are assured that when you board a matatu at 7:30 a.m., you'll be in town by 7:55 a.m., armed with 5 minutes to dash to the office to be on your desk at 8 a.m. Smiling. For the Rongai Langata commuters, on a day when you have slept in and left your house at 7 a.m., you will drop off your kids to school and be in the city center in time to catch a mug of chai and andazi at your favorite off-street cafe to energize yourself for the day. For those entering the city through Mombasa Road, you could leave Machakos at 6:30 a.m. and be in time to open the doors of your business in Kiambu at 8 a.m. Some of you think I'm describing heaven. Excited, you wake up and patriotically you tiptoe to the initializing point. When there, you dial the code or chant the words or strike the stone or issue the command, whatever it takes to operationalize the idea. No one notices you. As the day wakes, the TV and radio stations build up on commentaries on just how strange the city looks today. They have interviews on how long it took various people to get to the city. The city and the country are puzzled. Not even the police are claiming credit because they are also dazed as everyone else on just how this can be. Happy matatus with singing drivers are doing countless quotes. The Minister of Transport is interviewed in one of the leading breakfast shows. He too is a clueless beneficiary. The traffic jams are gone. Only you know what happened and how it happened and when it happened and why it happened. The question is, how long would you be able to keep the answer to yourself? Would you even be able to keep the answer to yourself in the first place? Or would you receive it as your doorway to fame? Even calculate the chance of being on the front page of Time magazine. You envision yourself instantly become a fashion model with all the glossy magazines tripping over themselves as they seek your poses. Fame is finally here. Or would you be able to keep quiet about it forever? At best, leave a note with instructions that it be read 25 years after you are dead. Your satisfaction would come from just seeing the Nairobians enjoy the ease. You walk the streets enjoying as everyone else. You overhear people chatting away saying, I do not know what happened, but I like it. And you can voluntarily and purposefully step away from the temptation of responding, I am the one who did it. Friend, if you can do good with no intentions of fame, you are in the zone of the few. And you have a value our world desperately needs. If for you fame is a fundamental pursuit, you fall in the category of the majority. Many minds and hearts in our culture are driven by a hunt for a form of grand public recognition. For this, fame is the inner core. Few are driven by a pure passion to make a grand public contribution. The crave for celebrity status is a cultural epidemic. Even the sophisticated ones amongst us yearn for a Nobel status. These fame pangs depend on one's sphere of operation. At family level, to be the favorite sibling or to be the richest spouse. At office level, to be the technical guru or the boss's favorite. At community level, to be the neighborhood hero, the village heroine. At national level, to be the power broker, the economic tower, the talent fountain. At global level, to join in the league of the most consulted in transnational issues. On achieving this, many effect a personality makeover to rhyme with their newfound rich and famous elevation. A community whose implicit or express systems fund fame as a fundamental goal sets itself up for dynamics where everyone seeks to be an idol. But ambition and its accompanying diligence should not be propelled by the possibility of fame. Ambition should be pursued for its communal and personal bettering impact. Regrettably, some who started on the foot of noble impact could not keep their integrity. They became victims of the norm and are now handcuffed by the follies of a thoughtless fame. But I also observe with glee leading personalities who, upon critiquing the arrogance and aloofness of their fame, have metamorphosized to make the betterment of society their inner core. Friends, fame should only be a byproduct, not the core product. When you keep off fame from motivating your ambition, both your eyes are fixed on the value of the task and you are able to work with a truer heart. This way, when people applaud you, because when you do a good job, they will, your joy will not be in their applause, but in the joy that stirs their applause. Now, 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 3 to 4 says to us, let not yours be the outward adorning, let it be the hidden person of the heart. Now, there are times when what is in fashion may attract who you are, but who you are should not be determined by what's in fashion. Fashion is a great driver and feeder of identity. Being fashionable carries the impression of one who is informed, young, relevant, and in touch. One who is unfashionable strikes the impression of one who is old and unaware. But being trendy also carries the image of one who is consumed with an intent to impress. Fashion places worth on external affirmation, locating value and self-worth in the physical aspect, which makes heads turn and hands touch. The unfashionable ones feel as people who have sunk into themselves. They are even perceived as unuseful. They come across as unaware of the present. Their minds have traveled and stuck in another time. Being fashionable also has a status impact in that it makes one look wealthy, while the unfashionable one looks financially challenged. Being in fashion facilitates acceptance. Having the newest styles and brands is a key image maker, especially in cities. Now, you may not need that expensive phone, but you need to have it and show it off to seem in touch. There is a fear of looking and even being old. So there is a rush for what is new. You are in when you are in fashion. But there are some zones in life that are not quite affected by fashion. Take, for instance, food. Meat is meat and vegetables still vegetables. Even in its preparation, there are hardly any significant changes to make the fashion language applicable. What you eat may imply status, but hardly fashionability. We could have fashionable eating places and fashionable waiters, but hardly fashionable food. Fashion is largely a human phenomenon. Other elements of nature tend to remain the same. Take, for instance, animals and trees. When watching fish in an aquarium, we do not see trendy ones that keep changing their clothes or changing their bounds. Interestingly, these creations remain the same way, yet we do not regard them as unfashionable. Important too is the form of human beings. God does not make more fashionable forms of human beings. Those born in the past look as they who are born today. God does not create trendy babies. He makes them always the same. Fashion could be dizzying and confusing and deceiving. Dizzying in that one of the characteristics of fashion is speed. No sooner have you settled in priding in one thing than another emerges. A person who goes by fashion is a person permanently on wings. Fashion can be confusing in that there are so many things simultaneously claiming to be in fashion, but their concepts conflict and clash. For instance, a car in fashion may clash with the reigning environment preservation ideals. Such clashes make the in-fashion concept unharmonized and therefore subject to doubt. And fashion can be deceiving because we proudly imagine that our interpretation and understanding of the newness is what was meant by the originators, while in actual fact, we are not privy to the original conversation that spurred the innovations and alterations. Further, we are told that the present model is the best today, but the same producers will spend money to make us forget today's best and replace it with another best tomorrow. What then is best? Clearly, one of the key motives of fashion and fashion drivers is not to make you better, but to make you buy. Mass fashion tends to kill the uniqueness of individuality, replacing it with homogeneity. It determines the calendar of when to change, such that the decision to acquire something new is taken away from you and controlled by another. The aspect of what is tasteful is also determined by the designers who, through aggressive advertising, sow seeds of discontent aimed at making you doubt your taste. When you resign your uniqueness, give up your purchasing calendar, mistrust your taste and surrender them to an unknown designer, You will always be in fashion with others, but out of fashion with yourself. In the area of heavy engineering and medicine, the drive of change is not fashionability, but efficiency. I find this efficiency perspective a better and more acceptable driver of newness. When thinking about being fashionable, think about being true to yourself and what you holistically represent, and then customize your style to enhance your mission efficiency. When it comes to fashion, you are freer than you think. Now, while others may regard what you have as unfashionable, what you have may be very fashionable to you. There are times when what is in fashion may attract who you are, but who you are should not be determined by what is in fashion. This has been Spotlight. Thank you.